Greetings, dear souls. We are so happy we get to speak with you more today about timelines. This is the third part of this message. But even though it's an important message and we're happy to, you know, give this with you, we're more excited about just connecting because it's so beautiful to be in the field with you. And we hope you feel that and experience that connection, that beauty. We know you do. You wouldn't be listening to these channels if you did not understand that really the connection is the key. It is everything. So now let's speak about the third lesson. And the third lesson is a continuation of the second lesson, but it's with a bit more mastery. You see, at a certain point, everything has a frequency. And if you identify that frequency, then you are in connection with it. And this is your experience and your timeline as well. Places, what you call time is really an illusion, right? There's really no time. Some of the mathematicians and teachers and quantum physics experts are talking about the difference between space-time and time-space. And that's a great explanation, and you should follow those classes. The channel's learned much from it because it's opened his eyes to thinking he can see more, to understand that, you can move through space and that changes time, just like you can move through time and that changes space. It's boggling, and we're not here to give you those lessons. They're available. But what we are here to tell you is that as you understand this mastery of time-space instead of space-time, as you move through it, you now have the power to create. And it's almost as simple as declaring. You see, if there's an energetic attachment, then you're going to feel the energy feelings, the emotions and patterning that you normally have, and you're going to get the reality you normally get. That's why we always say clear, 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 and we're telling you again, clear, clear, clear. But as you move to the place where you're getting pretty clear, and really it's just the day-to-day stuff that you have to pay attention to because you've done your work with your lifetime and your childhood and your past lives. You're free of karma, which is really cool because then you can choose your incarnations. Yay. You choose them anyway, but usually karma influences you because you think that you have to make good on what you didn't set right. But that's a whole nother story and another topic. But with this idea of being free, you're now in your place where you can quickly move to timelines. So the example that's been happening with the channel is he will notice an emotion come up, and he will notice something that happened to him in the past that caused that emotion, being a little kid. Oh, yeah. And then he literally rewrites the story. No, that's not what happened. What happened instead was this other person came up and was so kind and so sweet. And he'll hold that imagination for a moment. He'll feel the energy of that person being kind and sweet. And then all of a sudden that timeline is in place. He can still choose to go back and remember the other one, but that will fade over time, he will find. But why? Why not just stick with this one? Oh, but that's not what happened. Well, it was our first talk we gave you about you defining what happened, and it keeps you in the timeline of, oh, that happened. So this is something we're going to encourage you to practice in our third communication on dancing through timelines. As little bits of memory come up to you and you've done your work to clear, do not bypass that step. That's the biggest one. When you're pretty clear, then you can start to do this quickly. And you may even do the combination of clearing and rewriting in the same process. Oh, this happened. This really hurt. I'm so sad. Feel it for a moment. It doesn't have to be a whole lifetime. It doesn't have to, bring you to your knees crying. Feel it, allow it to feel fully, let it pass through you. The channel's finding that he can have stuff come up with him, and within a minute or two, it's done, it's finished. You're going to get there too. And we're here to tell him as well as you that it's even faster. You can just put your awareness on it and go, oh, that was a whole different experience. I don't need that. I'm done with it. And, the connection is no longer there to stay stuck. So it'll just be done. So you can do these two things together that we're saying is rewrite the story and feel what was there that kept you in the old story. So you feel the old one, spend a moment or two till it's done. Don't bypass it. You've got to get to the bottom of it where it's done. And then you feel the lighter energy. Instead of just replacing it with the new, better energy, which is sweet, we recommend that in all clearings, replace it with a new story as well. And then the person did this instead, or then this happened to me or with me instead. We hear this a lot, those in therapy rewrite their childhoods, they say, oh, be the parent you never had. And that's beautiful. If you haven't been raised with loving parents, like many people were not, you find you can love yourself and stuff. And you get the notion of be the parent you never had. Well, more so, we're telling you, tell the story of the parent you wanted to have. And then allow that timeline to take hold. It's aligning yourself with that energetic frequency first by telling the story and then feeling it. And then it becomes reality. And it just may not seem like an external shift around you. I mean, it can. If you're really good at flipping timelines, you'll see that people will be popping in and out. But again, that's pretty high level stuff. So we're not going to talk about that at this moment. But what will happen is you will no longer have the grief and pain of the imprint acting in your subconscious. So you no longer act it out unconsciously when similar situations arise. And then people around you will start to say, wow, you're softer, you're more loving. Because you're in the new timeline. And that the energetics will be such that you are softer and more loving. There you have it. We've given you 3 lessons to launch you on your way to moving into the timeline of connection, love, and grace that you and everybody on the planet has the birthright to. And many, many are beginning to experience. And that is what is causing the shift. Yes, there's external energy coming in, spirit, Gaia, the sun, God source, all of it, all the ET races, in the inner earth races. I could go on and on. Many are helping you energetically. But the shift is a 2-part thing. You're not a passive receiver of it. You are an active part of it. And that means moving to the new timelines. And we're giving you a basic 3-step process. Be aware of the stories you tell, of how things are supposed to be, and imagine that maybe that's just not how it is. Maybe there's lots of truth out there. Then, as you clear, when you find resistance to things that are different, step into telling that new story through allowance of things that could be different. And then finally rewrite it, tell it, and then live like you're in that timeline. We're in a great place for doing this. We're no longer in a place where people call you crazy or burn you at the stake for doing that. It's only a few hundred years ago that did happen. Less than that, where they'd lock you up and put you on drugs. Now they just use a media system to try to keep you drugged and reinforce the story timeline that they're telling you through their media system. At a certain point, you're going to see it's all a lie. And it's good. It's beautiful. It just shows the power of creation. What you think is who's the right and who's the wrong. All of that. The wars, the politics, all of that. You're going to see through it. And it won't matter because you won't be paying a lot of attention to it. You'll just go, oh, yeah, I used to believe a lot of lies, like everything, like my whole sexuality, like everything core tenet about right and wrong and ethics and all that. I used to believe all that. And I was such a good person by whatever standards I judged myself to be, or I was such a bad person by those standards, whatever. It's just not going to matter anymore because you're in the timeline of bliss. You're in the timeline of connection to all those around you because that's the story you're telling now. And you've done the process of realizing you were only telling a limited story before. You've moved and cleared what's holding you. You then applied intent and then backed off and let allowance take in. And now you just share the gratitude frequency because that frequency is everything. That frequency does determine where you exist on the time spectrum. Lot to bite off and chew, and we know you're going to have a tasty feast as you develop these skills. So blessings on you. Many, many blessings on you. Be well, because you are well. Hi, I'm Peter D. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're all doing our best we can to help humanity ascend. Please share your comments below. It's important that other people hear that these experiences are happening with everybody. So let us know what's going on with you in relationship to this topic. And if you can, please like and subscribe to this video. It'll help the YouTube algorithm send it out for more people to see. Stay blessed. You are so magnificent.